Hello guys, here Mr. G with another video for the grade 10s. They're writing the question papers very soon. This one is question 2. This is a paper 2 or is going to be a chemistry. So this time we're going to do question 2, which is mostly about properties of substances. It is a very good question to practice for the test. But before that, subscribe for the channel so we can or you can receive all the notification and videos I post on regular basis. Question 2 said, consider the table of substances below, and you have different substances there. The phase on each substance is given in bracket. Each substance may be used more than once. Write only the correct substance next to the question number 2.1 to 2.8 in the answer box. Now, before that one, let's do the following here. Let's identify what is going on there. We can see that F is an element. F is an element. C is carbon and is also an element. Now this is important for later. Wood is not an element. Wood is a mixture. It's a mixture. In this case, it's going to be a homogeneous. It's a homogeneous mixture. We have silicon, which is an element. You do all this one using the periodic table. This one is a semi-metal. Semi-metal or metalloid, which could also be called. Copper is an element. Sulfur is an element. It is a non-metal, by the way. It's a non-metal. We have oxygen, which is an element. And we have copper sulfate, which is a compound. So there is everything we know about these questions here. Okay, so now we can say choose from the table above two solid elements which are non-metal. Now, two solid elements, all of them are, most of them are solid, but two elements that are non-metal. So non-metals, here we have carbon. Carbon here is a non-metal. Non-metal, didn't write it before. We have a silicon, is a semi-metal, the one non-metal. Sulfur is the other non-metal. You can see the oxygen is a non-metal, but it is not solid, and they want solid. So in this case, the answers will be C and S. Carbon and sulfur. A solid compound which form a homogeneous mixture. They want a solid compound. They want a compound. They want a compound. And then if we go back to the table, the only compound you have is copper sulfate or CuSO4. That is the only compound here. So it's going to be CuSO4. That is the answer for this specific question. A non-magnetic metal which is a good conductor of electricity. Now, all metals are good conductors, but only some of them are magnetic. Now, which one is the one that is not magnetic? The only metals we have here are iron and we have copper. Iron is magnetic, so let's write it down there. Iron is magnetic and copper is non-magnetic. Is non-magnetic. So in this case, the answer for question 2.3 is Cu. We carry on. Question 2.4. An element which is a metalloid or semi-metal. Metalloid or semi-metal is the same thing and is a semiconductor. Obviously, if they are metalloid, they are going to be semiconductor of electricity, guys. And the only metalloid or semi-metal we mark here was silicon, and it's the answer therefore Si. That is the answer for that specific question. A magnetic substance which is good conductor of heat. Now, in this case, we said iron is a metal and it's magnetic. It's the only one and is also good conductor of heat. So in this case, the answer will be Fe. An element which is non-metal and a good conductor of electricity. Now, this one is quite tricky. It is a non-metal, but it's a good conductor of electricity. So guys, the non-metals we have here are carbon, they are sulfur, and they are oxygen. From all those, carbon is the one that is a good conductor of electricity there. So that is important. The element that is a good conductor of electricity is carbon. That is the non-metal which is a good conductor of electricity. A substance which is a good heat and electrical isolator, and that will be wood, guys. It's quite simple. Everyone knows that wood is a good conductor, insulator, electrical insulator. Okay, an element in the second period of the periodic table which form a diatomic molecule. And guys, here the only element that can form a diatomic molecule in all that list will be oxygen. That is the one, and oxygen is in group 2 as well. So this is the answer. That is the answer for this question. I hope it helps. It's a very simple question, but it's a good question to be asked in the exam. Good luck. I'll see you next time. Subscribe for the channel. Mr. G here.